I'm going to start with opening the camera app and go to settings and turn on RAW copies. This will basically allow you to capture JPEG and RAW DNG format images at the same time. After that, I will go to Pro mode, which will give you the full control of your camera, just like any other professional pro cameras. And I will set the shutter speed to 30 seconds and set my ISO to 800. And I'm going to click manual focus and find the bright target to see to focus. By the way, I'm using ISO 800, but if you're in a darker area, you can increase your ISO to 1600 or 3200. And when you make sure your focus is good, just press the shutter button for a quick test shot. This process called long exposure photography. It basically allows you to capture long time and get more light into your camera. And the key rule is you need to stable your camera with a tripod and avoid any shaking or vibration. Let's see. Not bad. Focus is good. All I need to do is taking continuous shots every after 30 seconds without touching the phone. So there are available apps to do this, and I'm gonna use an intervalometer app and that you can download, and it's actually pretty simple. There are other intervalometer apps too. After opening the intervalometer app, I need to show where's the shutter button with that red target icon and press start. I'm planning to leave my camera out here maybe 2 hours. So leaving it for 2 hours means 240 frames, and it can give you 15 to 20 seconds long video depending on the frame rate. Considering that each frame is 30 seconds long, while capturing you can do light painting or play with the light sources like flashlight to create some action in your frame, or things fun to do while waiting 2 hours. After 2 hours of waiting and cooking, I'm going to check what I captured. Let's see. This one is the raw copy, as you can see on the top, and this one is the JPEG frame. Raw copies looks a little soft and noisy comparison to JPEG. Raw copies have 10-bit colors and high dynamic range. On the other hand, processed 8-bit JPEGs have less color information and smaller file size. Also, JPEGs are processed and have some sharpening and noise reduction. Here are some light painting I did with my red flashlight while capturing. I think this is the JPEG. Yeah, RAWs are a little noisy. For the light painting, yeah, JPEGs looks more clear than the unprocessed raw images, as you can see, which is completely normal. For the raw imaging, you need to edit after capturing. Basically put on the Photoshop or Lightroom to edit, because it does not have any process. It's just the raw capture, whatever your camera sensor gets. So that's why it's noisy. It's normal. The small icon on the right top shows which ones are the raw DNG images, and if there's no shutter icon on the top, it's JPEG. It basically takes two pictures, one RAW and one JPEG, when you turn on RAW copies. Everything looks good so far. Only thing I need is transferring all these pictures into my computer and putting them in a video editing software, Timeline. I will use DaVinci Resolve editing software, which is free. I mean, there's studio versions with you need to pay, but there's also a free version, and you can download. I will leave a download link in the description too. You can also use other video editing softwares too. Here are all the pictures. I already separated JPEGs and raw DNGs in different folders to avoid confusion, because the frames looks really similar. I will select them all and drag into my timeline on DaVinci Resolve. You can see all the frames here. Yeah, here we go. I have a 10-bit raw video ready to edit. Yeah, when you put all those frames together, it turns into a video. You can see my light painting here, pretty short but still visible. You can use as a still frame too. Let's compare the JPEG and RAW images side by side. For a better comparison, I will get two images in Lightroom so I can clearly see raw images have more dynamic range and color, and in general raw pictures have better details. Noisy, but I can use noise reduction to get rid of that noise. On the other hand, JPEGs are mushy and less detailed, and there are some artifacts caused by over sharpening the image. It's not clear. Let's try color grading a little. Looks like there's not much different, but I would prefer using the DNG images because it is more realistic, and it is basically the raw information, but JPEGs are a little AI supported, and I don't like the look on JPEGs in general. It looks a little blurry and little less details in the shadows. Noise reduction. Yeah, noise reduction works. I think it's not necessary to use noise reduction for the JPEGs because it already has the noise reduction automatically applied when you're taking the picture. And you can clearly see the difference in color and dynamic range between JPEG and the DNG. Look at the colors and look at the colors. After rendering all my images, the video looks like this. Better details in shadows, definitely. And look at the JPEG sequences. It's like really dark in the shadows. There's almost no details in the shadows. This is JPEG sequence from different angle. I also made a video a few months ago about how to make Milky Way time lapses with a smartphone using the exact same technique. You can watch that video by clicking the link on the top right corner. You're going to ask me why I'm not using the hyperlapse mode or time-lapse mode. Our answer is simple. First, time-lapse or hyperlapse app won't let you long exposure for 30 seconds. And the second one is being able to full control of the camera and also having 10-bit images which have more stored colored and light information. Only drawback is the extra time you spend to create the video and color grade in the post. If your priority is image quality, you should use this process. But if you like to get a quick and easy time lapse, you can go with the regular hyperlapse or time lapse mode. There's no right or wrong in this. Whatever is convenient for you, just go with that. I'm just trying to point that you can get professional grade images even with a smartphone cameras nowadays. And you don't have to spend $5,000 for a mirrorless camera if this is just a hobby for you. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comment section, and please subscribe my channel for more tips.